listening to G-Funkster production. G-Funkster. G-Funkster.
Welcome to Spyder Auto's fog light installation guide for the Nissan Altima. We'll start by popping the hood. Now let's move underneath the car. There are 6 screws and 6 plastic retainers that must be removed from the underside. And that's all of them. Now let's get to the business of removing all of those.
This is a DJ Tip production. This is a DJ Tip production. This is a DJ Tip production.
With the screws and fasteners removed, now we can pull down the splash tray. Pull outward on the bottom edge of the bumper to gain the clearance you need to pull the fender liner out. We're not done underneath the car yet though. We've got to remove these 4 plastic retainers that are securing the remainder of the splash guard panel.
This is a DJ Tip production.
Now we can remove the splash pan.
DJ Tip production.
Moving back up top, now we have to remove these 6 plastic retainers.
This is a DJ Tip production.
Now let's go back to that fender well again. Peel back the fender liner and you'll be able to see that there's a 10mm bolt / Phillips screw that we're going to need to remove. We chose to use a Phillips head on it. Now, before we go any further, tape off the edges of the fender where it meets the bumper with either masking tape or blue painter's tape to protect the finish of the paint on the fender as we remove and consequently reinstall the front bumper. Now we can remove the front bumper. Unseat the front bumper by pulling the edges outward and then slowly begin to work the bumper free. Remember, if your car is equipped with factory fog lights, you'll need to disconnect these. Here we have our bumper and our new fog lights set out on a soft non-abrasive surface to prevent damage while we're working. Now looking at your fog lights here, you'll notice that they're marked L and R for left and right respectively. Be sure you have the correct fog light for the correct side. Let's take a look at how this thing is mounted. Notice that there's only the one hole. Let's compare that to how our factory light's mounted. It's very similar. Remove the single 10mm bolt from the top of the factory fog light if equipped. And now we can remove the factory fog light. Now install your new fog light. Snap the lower mounting clip into place. Here's a better look at that lower tab we're on about. And then go ahead and reinstall the 10mm bolt that secures it. Now just repeat the process for the other side. Installation's the same for both sides. Here we have the wiring harness for your new LED fog lights. These two white connectors go to your fog lights. This black box is the relay for the fog lights. This red wire must be connected to your battery, your parking lights, or another 12-volt power source. The black wire must be connected to the negative side of the battery or to ground. On the right of the screen here, we have the interior side of the harness, including the fog light switch. After feeding the harness partially through the firewall, you'll need to connect the brown wire to the brown wire, and the black wire to the black wire. Then connect the purple wire to the green wire. And then both of these must be tapped into an ignition hot power source. The parking lamp circuit may also be tapped. After completing your wiring, now it's time to start reassembly. Start by remounting the front bumper. Now we'll move to the fender and reinstall the 10mm bolt/Phillips head at the corner of the fender and bumper. Now we'll reinstall these 6 plastic retainers. Just push them into their respective holes. Then we'll reinstall the splash pan. Slide the splash pan up into place. Reinstall the 4 plastic retainers that hold the splash panel in place. Then we'll reinstall the 6 screws and 6 plastic retainers that are secured on the underside of the bumper. Videography, editing, and voiceover by Nitro Nick. For more information, visit spyderauto.com or find us on Facebook.